Hey, everybody. Welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and we are live here in Toronto at the Intercontinental Hotel, and I'm here with my good friends, Chuck White, the president of the International Association of Movers, and Brian Limperopulos, the vice president of the International Association of Movers. What a coincidence. And we're here right now in the lobby. Who let us do this?
I have no idea.
We must be spending a lot of money this
And
year.
we actually have fans.
I like this.
We have
like
fans.
This. I like this.
I don't even think we paid them to be here.
Oh, we did.
We did?
We did.
Okay. I don't know what y'all do to bring the people out, but you do a great job every year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's part of our thing. Yeah.
Why the heck are we in Canada right now?
Well, if the best thing would be if we learn how to pronounce the damn country's name. But okay. We are here doing a site visit for the 2023 IAM annual meeting. I'm already throwing out the dates on you here.
We're going dates.
We're going dates, October 9 through 12 in Toronto, Canada.
October 9th through the 12th in Toronto, Canada.
There you
This
go.
is awesome. Get in the comments. I want to hear from you. Who are you? Where are you? Give your company a shout out. Get in there. Hit that like button right now. If you've ever been to an IAM conference, put it in there. I want to know what your favorite city you've ever done an IAM conference in. Just throw it in there. I want to hear from everybody here. We got Megan Harless checking in. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
We're
Megan.
using that term awful loosely these days, aren't we?
What? Wow, that was harsh. Are you really going to come at me this hard?
At me,
this
bro.
Fast?
At me.
Coming at me. Okay.
You know, listen. You know, I mean, the laws are different in Canada. Okay, you know, things fly up here.
Oh,
They don't fly down south. All right.
Truth. Have you walked on the streets? Have you smelled what's out there?
Yes, it is an aromatic, fragrant city in a good way. Not like cities I'm going to next week.
Wow.
Anyway, Chris Benson checking in. I love it. Chris, we love you. Happy belated Valentine's Day.
Where's Chris coming from?
Chris is in Arkansas, I believe.
All
Chris, where are you coming from? Let us know.
All
Arkansas, true or false? Chris, you where are you at? You at Walmart these days? What are you doing these days, man? Check in with us.
See, now you're throwing shade at everybody.
No, he works for Walmart.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I thought you were trying to say that was something negative.
No,
shop at
it's an
Walmart.
amazing employer.
There you go.
Many
I was
people.
going to hang out right here.
Stay out of it right now. Look at that. That's a smart guy.
I'm just here.
We're actually going to get to the fact that Chuck's out, Brian's in. We're going to get to the fact that and see get some reactions to that.
Wow.
Brian with his infinite wisdom here. Look, people are checking in right now. Get in there, hit that like button, let everybody know we are live here from Toronto. I want to know your feelings about Toronto. Is there anywhere I need to go? Where do we need to go? If you've been from, if you're from Toronto, you've been here. What is your favorite place to go? What is your favorite thing to do? Let us know here. We're checking in. We're going to get to all of this stuff. Talk about registration this year. Talk about sponsorship opportunities. Tyler saying a podcast with a crowd. I love it.
There we go. There we go.
Tyler.
Tyler from Mark?
Look at this. Chris Benson with Walmart. Love it. Scott Chapman, shout out from sunny Dallas. Oh, Chris is remote in Memphis. Tyler, shout out from Glomo. Love it, Tyler. Tyler's one of our new guys.
So I love sitting here next to you because now I understand how the hell you know all of this. I mean, it is coming across your computer like wildfire. I'm loving this.
Yeah.
An inside look. Maybe I need to do my own podcast.
We need might have a podcast in your future.
Inside look at Glomo.
Yeah.
I like that concept.
Georgia's coming in. Can't wait for Toronto.
Yeah, man.
Georgia, what are you looking forward to? Throw it in the comments. Tim Quirk, I'll be there in 2.5 hours.
2.5.
He's coming up.
He's coming up.
Timmy, for real?
It's going to take us that
Bring
long.
that road sense up here.
Tim, what is RoadSense sponsoring? We're going to go through the sponsorships. Tim, we're going to give you first dibs, it sounds like, on the air, live on the air.
Something big last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. RoadSense is doing it big.
RoadSense is in the house. Yeah.
Paul Convery, I'm such a fan of Love and Reload that I'm watching from my hospital bed, about to get my gallbladder taken out. Cheers.
Wow, that sounds tough. We got you in our thoughts and prayers, brother.
Thoughts and prayers, Paul.
Not myself, but with a friend.
Yeah, some people actually liken Love and Reload to gallbladder surgery. Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for tuning in.
This is going
great.
Nowhere.
Paul, we love you. Paul's a Canadian. Nancy Irvine, speaking of Canadians, shout out from the Intercontinental Lobby in Toronto. Ben, you have to start doing live audiences more often. I would if people would show up, Nancy. Honestly, it's not for lack of trying.
Do they call that groupies? Is that what that is?
Yeah, maybe in the 80s.
Glomo
They did.
groupies. I like
Yeah, look
that.
at this. Mark.
There we go.
Hey, Nancy's in the house.
Nancy's-
Nancy is the president of the Canadian Association of
Yes.
Movers, the CAM.
There we go.
Yes,
And-
I CAM.
Is she the first ever
Walk through.
participant in the chat as well as on the show
I think that
concurrently?
Maybe. Look at this. It took me forever to type. She said, I'm just going to walk over. I don't type so hot these days. John saying, let's Glomo. Glomo's a verb now.
Let's Glomo. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
We're going to get into some real stuff here,
afraid.
people, okay? Just hang in there. I promise you, all right? Hit that like button. Jana Chesanoski checking in.
All right,
Happy
Jana.
Thursday. Terry Head in the house. Best hotel and city.
Oh, it's exciting.
What
Folks.
is
Let's
Terry's?
get into this.
Terry's saying his favorite actually was the Hyatt in San Diego.
Oh,
That Manchester-
Manchester
is a great
hotel.
It is a great hotel, and it's made for our meeting. There's no question about it.
Yes. I
Yeah.
actually ended up getting stranded there because the ice storm back then that was happening. I don't know if you remember that. I
I mean,
ended
it
up.
might have been a nice storm in San Diego.
Definitely
No, it
not
was in
there.
Raleigh. It was in the Raleigh. Yes.
Wherever you were
Chris
trying to get
Benson's
to.
in the Glomo fan club. Let's Glomo. Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Well, let's get into it here. So we're in Toronto. What are your impressions of the city?
It's amazing. So it's so cosmopolitan. It's so diverse. It is almost like a microcosm of IAM.
It is.
I mean, it's got every flavor, color, nationality, you name it. And it is, I think, perfect for our conference.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I love coming here. There's great energy all over this city. There's great places to go, places to eat, different places to eat. The variety is it's just
The awesomeness is this: we are going to be in a convention center this year.
Mhm.
That's something a little different for IAM. But this convention center is in the heart of Toronto. I equate this to, we had one of my favorite annual meetings was a number of years ago in New York City.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we were in Times Square at the Marriott Marquis. By the way, we'll be back there in a few years. But this is the feel, the energy, the vibe associated with Toronto. It is cosmopolitan to the max, and I'm very excited to have our folks come here.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I've been walking around the city, and I agree. The vibe is tremendous. Ton of people from all over the world, just like the IAM conference. What's your favorite place to go here? Have you seen anything that you want to highlight to people? Paul Convery saying go to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are talking about that. Have y'all had a chance to check that out?
We have had an opportunity to check it out. We've been there. It is one of the most amazing, engaging. It's interactive. It's really exciting. And I will tell you, if you don't go there as an individual, we might be having couple of groups that are looking to sponsor events there.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it is just that, an experience, I will tell you.
Yeah, that's a big rumor going around. Is it's a lot of people are wanting to do the Hockey Hall of Fame as a big party spot.
Yeah. I mean, you can have, I'll bet 500 or 600 people in there at any one time. So it's great.
And me and Chuck, we went with Terry to a conference here 5 years ago, and there was a great party in the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's a great venue for all that.
Yeah, digging it. People are loving this here. We got Balaji checking in, Balaji Muhammad checking in
Hey, Balaji.
from Dallas. Richard from London's in the house. We got some more
Dang, you got a
Canadians
worldwide
checking in here.
audience. I
We
like
got
that.
Romania in the house right now.
Who's coming in from
Teodoro
Romania?
Cristea from Romania.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What's up? This is great. I love it. Y'all really bring the folks out. How many countries are going to be represented at the IAM conference this year?
Let's
Well,
go. 120, Chuck.
Is that what you're shooting for?
Let's go.
All
120
right,
countries.
I'd say that. We were only at 110 last year.
Only
in Atlanta.
110.
Only 110. So we're shooting for 120. We're breaking down some of the barriers. We can talk about.
Let's talk about it.
So one of
Let's get into it. What are some of the things people need to know before they come here? Some of the things that might be unique about
Mhm.
Toronto as a destination.
Well, I'll start the discussion. So everyone needs to understand we are going to be opening up our registration in our IAM annual meeting website early this year. The question is, why? Why earlier? We were expected to open that up in mid-May timeframe, and we're really shooting for next month, mid-March, mid to late March, to open up registration for the IAM annual meeting. The reason being, the rules have changed a bit on immigration and visa acquisition into Canada. So one of the things you have to do to be able to obtain a visa is show that you are registered for the conference. So to make sure that everyone around the world that is seeking a visa to come to Canada have that registration as part of their packet for the visa.
Okay.
We are opening up our registration early, so it's going to be in the March timeframe, mid-March, late March timeframe, so that people can start the process of obtaining their visas. We've already heard from many of our members from around the world saying, we're having difficulty getting visa appointments. We're having difficulty going through the application process.
Okay.
So we've engaged with lawyers and customs individuals to help us and to help individuals through the process to be able to get into Canada, get their visa so we can get them at the meeting. So that's why we're thinking we're going to have more countries represented. We were at a difficult time last year as we wound down COVID, fingers crossed, wound down COVID. And we really think that this will help in the process, the visa process, and making sure all of the members that want to come to the conference can get there.
And so we'll be launching registration. We'll be launching our website soon. There's going to be an icon on our website, Canadian flag. You'll click that. It'll give you the information you need. Now, some countries don't need a visa to get into Canada.
Yeah. What are some of those countries that like maybe don't need a visa?
Well, obviously, there's really 3 different levels. So the U.S., it's, very easy. You just bring your passport with you. You go through customs. You're in, etc.
So no change really for the U.S. folks.
No, nothing that the
other
US
than you
folks
need a passport. That's
correct. Everybody needs a passport. Then a lot of the European countries, a number of the major countries in Asia are able to go in and use an electronic process that they have to go through to be able to input their information, and they'll get an electronic admission process into Canada. There are entities that have to go through a more paper-like, go through potentially an interview within a consulate or embassy within their country. That third process is the one that we are trying to support and to be able to help our members through that process. So one of the things that we're doing is we're registering our meeting with the Canadian government so that they put it into their systems so that their consulates and embassies are able to electronically go online, see that we're registered with the country, and then through having the appropriate invite letters, et cetera, that we can provide, it will streamline the process and make it a lot easier for folks.
So you gotta, we're gonna create the place where you can start the process. Well, you're going to have to start the process yourself, but we're going to create the place where you can register. And that's going to be the critical piece of documentation that you're going to need if you need a visa to get that visa in time to come here in October.
So registering really is the first thing you need to do.
Yep.
So you register first. You don't do visa work. You don't do other stuff. You register first, and then that will improve the things you need for your visa.
Yeah, because we've registered this event with the Canadian government, so they already know we're bringing people here.
So the other thing that you're going to have to do is go ahead and get your reservations, your hotel reservations. And
that's a big thing. We need to talk about that. Yeah. And Megan Harless is chiming in and she says, early registration means plenty of planning time.
Amen.
It's a great way to look at it.
Thank you very much.
So let's hop into, because we spent the entire day today doing what?
Doing hotel visits.
Hotel visits and fun party venues, right?
Yeah.
So we are like ready to rock here.
Right.
Should we like break down the hotels for everybody?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Where are we right now, Ben?
So right now we are at the Hotel Intercontinental in downtown city center, Toronto.
Right. You can look over my shoulder right here, and you can see the back to where the hotel registration area is. And all you have to do is walk through a door near that area where you register when you come into the hotel, and you walk right into the convention center. So the Intercontinental Hotel is actually connected to the convention center where we will be holding most of our events. The interesting thing is the last couple of years, either in Atlanta or in Orlando the year before, I will tell you that it was further,
Much further
from your room in the hotels in those two cities than it is to get into the
Right.
convention center.
That's true.
From this hotel. I mean, they are literally connected, 3 of the 4 hotels into the convention center.
So I would say that the Intercontinental is probably the closest hotel if
Yes.
we were
Yep.
just measuring footsteps to the convention center.
Yep.
I mean, this is what I love about this convention center here is there's 3 hotels that are like almost directly connected to the convention center. You don't really have to get out and walk a few blocks. The other hotel is 2 blocks down, but you can connect to the convention center really easily through the underground walkways.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily feel like a convention center format like we've had in the past with
Right.
Long Beach or Vancouver.
Right.
So that's one thing I really love about this space here.
Yeah.
I agree.
And let's talk about the other hotel that we went and saw, the Fairmont Hotel.
Okay, so that's the one.
Royal
the,
York.
The,
Royal York.
the Royal York is
Okay.
what it was.
The Canadians get a little touchy about it.
That's right. I mean, so this is
Sorry.
yeah. So this is 100-year-old property that's been updated a number of times, but that is amazing. It is a historical venue,
Yeah.
but it also has the creature comforts of the newer hotels. It really is an unbelievable blend of old and new and history. And it's a block and a half, if you will,
Yeah.
from the convention center. So yeah, it may be the one that's a little bit farther, but we can walk a couple of blocks in the beautiful weather we're expecting in October in Toronto.
Yeah. So my opinion on this is the Fairmont is probably I'm going to say it's the nicest hotel probably. It's very historic, but it's also very updated. It's not connected. It's also the farthest. We have a room block of like 500 something rooms there as well. So it's going to be one of the most populous hotels. But again, if you go downstairs into the path, right? So people that haven't been to Toronto, underground, there's the path, and the path is 30 kilometers of underground travel concourse, mall, shopping center, the pathways, food courts, all this stuff down below, right? So you can just very simply just go kind of basically into the basement of the Royal York.
Royal York.
Okay.
Yes.
For Nancy.
Yes, for Nancy. And go down there and actually just kind of scoot right over up to the convention center. So it's all interconnected. It's all, no matter the weather, it's all.
And by the way, we will have for some folks that need it, there will be a shuttle available to run you quickly down the street from the Royal York into the convention center. So it doesn't have the feel of being very separated, being very distant, people worrying about, I got to get from this hotel to that hotel to get to meetings, because they are so closely knit, so closely connected.
Yes, and we have people chiming in here saying the Fairmont Royal York is absolutely beautiful. Yes, I would agree. We got Arthur Drury here talking about welcome to Canada. Nice to see you again, Ben. And hi, Chuck and Brian. Yes,
hey,
Arthur.
Hey,
Arthur.
And look, Arthur put in there a link to the entry to Canada there as well.
I see Steve. I can look over your shoulder now.
You see Steve there?
Right camp. How are you, brother?
He says, looking forward to Toronto. Balaji says, I love Ontario, Canada, not Ontario, California. Was honored in this city in 2011 for my work. The CN Tower is amazing. Well, Balaji, come on back.
That's another thing. So right behind it. So if you don't know anything about Toronto, just Google the CN Tower. It is an amazing structure, and I can almost reach out and touch it from the convention center. That's a great. I mean, so you almost. All right,
we're close.
You've got to do that while you're here. It's one of the largest, highest structures in North America. You can see. It seems forever. I think I can see maybe part of Abu Dhabi or I'm not sure. Dubai.
You can see all 170 member countries from the CN Tower.
There you go.
Yeah, Tim Quirk saying I love the CN Tower. Yeah, and going back to the Fairmont Royal York, we just toured it today. And in my opinion, that bar is really amazing, right there. They got they got
3 bars.
I think it's called the Clockwork Bar in the lobby.
Yes,
sick bar, very nice, large, lots of spacious seating. But then there's another hidden gem there we're letting people in on.
Oh, And
Did you remember
do
that
we-
one?
do
What was
we
that
wanna
called?
let 'em
called
in
the
on it?
library.
Oh, well, we
The
just did.
library.
All right.
Okay.
We just
Secrets
let the
out of
cat
the
out of
bag.
the
I'm
bag.
sorry, the library bar.
It's gorgeous.
It is unbelievable. It's like going back to a 1920s, 1930s cigar bar kind of thing.
Kind of speakeasy vibe to it.
Exactly. It's going to be really neat. And we're thinking
I might
about holding an event or two.
I might want to rent that thing out for a little party,
A
a
little
little
Lomo
party.
party?
Does Lomo do something like
we
that?
sometimes
Are we
we
gonna
get
get an
down
invite?
sometimes.
Okay,
Hey, you know it's gonna be it's very very tightly controlled door. I'll be honest with you.
Would I
It's
be
gonna
able
be
to
very.
get in,
I
you think?
mean, maybe.
Chuck
Do I
will
have-
get in.
Do I have
Maybe.
to tip somebody?
Maybe.
What do I
Yeah.
gotta do?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
That-
Might need a
that-
password.
That's
I don't
a
know.
spectacular bar. So we
Mhm.
may use it for an event or two ourselves during the conference. Got a few specialty invite-only
Yes.
events that we might utilize that for. But let's talk about some of the other hotels.
Yes, let's do it.
Some great
Let's get into it.
nuances.
There's two Marriott properties as well that
That's
we're
right.
partnering with,
That's
right?
right.
You know,
That's
you got
right.
the Delta by Marriott
Yep.
as well as the Marriott City Center.
Let's
Mhm.
talk about the Marriott City Center
Oh.
real quickly.
Very cool.
That is it. Small number of rooms there, but I will tell you, it has a little secret to it that no other hotel in North America has. So a number of the rooms are attached to the Rogers Center. The Rogers Center is what holds and hosts the Toronto baseball
Blue
team.
Jays,
The
yeah.
Blue Jays, right. And so there are rooms there that look into the stadium. It's one of those stadiums that has the retractable roofs, but it looks down into the stadium so you can lay back in your bed and watch through your window into the baseball game and watch a baseball game.
Yes,
Well, that's if
all we
the
need-
Blue Jays make it to the playoffs.
Yes.
I'd like to hear from some of the Canadians if that's actually going to
Will the Blue
Well-
Jays? Oh, we have a strong yes from
Wow.
100% of our Canadian audience says that the Blue Jays will make it to the playoffs.
Well, yeah, 100% of the Canadian audience.
Yes. But either way, you know, Toronto is such a sports town.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the only Canadian city with a basketball team, an NBA basketball team. It's the only Canadian city with a Major League Baseball, team as well. You've got the Maple Leafs, who are, you know, one of the most storied franchises in, NHL history. And then, of course, you got the Toronto Blue Jays here. So it's such a big town, sports town. And then they have such a great sports bar there, which also, in case you're not fortunate enough to have a room overlooking the Rogers Center and the Toronto Blue Jays stadium, the sports bar in the lobby there is an amazing place to catch a game, because you're going to be having, NFL football going on that time of year. You're going to be having, Major League Baseball playoffs going on, NBA, Champions League.
Yeah.
So if you're looking
Yeah, like-
over though from that bar, which is a public bar, make some reservations. If the Blue Jays are playing, you literally sit in the bar. It is the ultimate sports bar because you watch an actual
Mhm.
live game sitting in the window there, looking into the stadium. It's amazing. It's like
Pretty
having
amazing.
your own box seat.
It
there.
really
Yeah.
is it's like a box seat. It's
Yeah.
right there in the stadium.
Yeah.
Megan Harless is saying another World Series event.
There you go. So I hate to say it. I guess I have to root for the Blue Jays to be in the baseball playoffs, because that just adds one more cool element to the whole vibe.
You got to root for the home team,
Yeah, gotta do it.
right?
Gotta do it.
This is great. Look at, and Nancy's getting in there with some really great tips there from a local here in Ontario. Super cool. And then lastly is the Delta by Marriott,
Yep.
which is a very modern hotel, very updated.
Well, how many floors were in that thing? So this is
40.
Great views.
40 something floor 40, because I think we were on the
And-
45th floor at one point looking at hotel
And it was
rooms.
probably the best view. I mean, looking out on Lake Erie, right?
Oh,
Lake
incredible.
Erie, right?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Ontario,
So
maybe
great.
Lake Ontario.
Yeah, like
I'm just
Lake
guessing it's the
Ontario.
province. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those great lakes.
It's a lake.
It's one out of, we have a 20% chance of getting this
Eight
right. here.
borders between the U.S. and
Here
Canada.
we are in an international association of movers, and we don't even.
Can we
know
get a ruling?
geography.
Can we get a
If
ruling?
it was a
from
highway, we'd know it.
All right, Nancy.
So yeah,
what's the deal? What's the lake
Lake
out there?
Ontario?
Lake
Sorry,
Ontario.
I was
All
mistaken.
right.
Ontario.
All right, makes sense. Woo.
named after the province. So yeah, so you can look right out there and great views there. It's also connected by a covered walkway directly into the convention center, probably
Yeah.
the second closest to the convention center. So easy access, because the convention center is really where it's going to be at this year. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is not a conference that's hosted in a hotel, is hosted in a convention center. So there's a lot of positives to that. So what are some of the upside pluses of hosting this convention in the convention center?
We got to talk about that expo hall.
The amount of space is number one. And
Megan Harless is saying geography is not their strong suit.
And that's a shame. I mean, gosh, they give us shipments. Thank
Hold
God
up.
it's not us.
Hold up. I won the
Explains a lot.
geography bee in 4th grade.
Wow, and that's where his knowledge stopped, actually.
Woo!
Very good, very good.
So last year in Atlanta, again, that was a last minute addition.
Yeah.
We had about 28,000 square feet of space for our exhibit hall. Not optimal for us. It was obviously smaller,
tight.
and we
It was
tried
tight.
to cram a lot of stuff in there. This year, the exhibit space that we're going to have is 160,000 square feet. So we're going to have the exhibit hall being more than 5 times larger. So
What are you going to do with all that palatial
It's
space,
like
Chuck?
huge Glomo.
Like a hockey rink?
Well, it's almost big enough for your
Hey,
head there.
hey!
I'm sorry.
I think you get through the door.
Okay, well, it is a little out there. So yes, we're really gonna experiment. That's the thing. So we're not gonna cram booths together. We're gonna look to have some really new and innovative type space offerings for the sponsors, for the exhibitors. We're going to bring, obviously, food into that area, drink into that area. That drink, put it parenthetically, is alcohol. I think we're going to do some type of speaking type where we're going to try to bring some of the issues that are affecting companies now in our membership.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm going to turn it over quickly and get it back from Brian to talk about our member needs assessment that's going to be coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, so in the next probably 3 weeks here, we're going to be circulating a survey, and we do this about once every 3 years. And really, it's to take the temperature of the members. And so, yeah, we want to hear what's happening in your world. What are your pain points, and what are we doing well? What are we not doing so well? So we can kind of keep, taking that information and providing you with the best service. So there's going to be a lot of questions about what challenges our members are facing, and we want to take those and build that into our program and have kind of really good sessions oriented around let's put our heads together and find solutions to those challenges.
And maybe then in this huge area that we have for our exhibit hall, maybe have some small areas where we do some roundtable sessions where we might have a speaker that brings up thoughts and comments and issues that you have shared with us, and then sit around tables and say, okay, what are some of the solutions that the movers in Romania versus the movers in the U.S. versus the movers in Japan, how are they dealing with these issues? How are they coming up with answers to the problems that we are all facing? So have an opportunity for you to talk to and engage with your partners around the world to try to collectively solve issues. So we're thinking outside the box. We've got all kinds of ideas to be able to take this giant space that we have and make it work for you, the attendees.
Yeah, I think another thing I want to emphasize just real quick, Ben, is just bringing, with that space, we have a lot of opportunity to bring more tables and chairs for, our members love to meet. They love to network. Bring it into the expo hall. There's a lot of great natural light that flows into it, so you don't feel like you're
in the catacombs.
Yeah, and so that's one real plus side of this venue is you feel like you're in this really nice and bright place, and it makes you want to connect and engage and have a great time. So really excited about that expo hall.
Yeah, this opens up a whole new world for us.
It really does. No, it really does. And the space is beautiful. And, you talk about getting members' comments. If you've got a comment, put it in the chat right now. If you've got a question for Chuck and Brian or myself about the IAM conference coming up in October, please put it in the comments. I want to get to your comments. We will be taking your questions as well. And you mentioned taking the temperature of your membership, and Tim Quirk says 98.6, brother.
98.6.
98.6, no matter which way you take it.
I don't know. He seems to be a little hotter maybe hot-headed. Maybe is the
He
right
runs
word.
warm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he runs a little warm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might be up in that 98, 99.
Well, you know what they say. You know what they say. Hot head, cold heart.
Oh man,
You know.
stone hard.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not,
Hey,
not
man.
the Tim I know.
Hey, you know what they say? Freight don't cry. All right.
Oh.
Nolly household goods. All right. Freight
That's
don't
right.
cry.
That's
okay?
right. Yeah, them household goods talk back.
That's right. They do. They squawk, man. Let me tell you what. We got questions coming in. Let's see here. Ooh, Megan Harless, Georgia. Keep these questions coming. We're gonna answer them in the order that they have arrived. I think y'all should put a hockey rink in there.
We're talking about. You think that's funny? You say that?
Yeah.
Because literally today we were
How fun would
looking
that be?
at having a little place that had some ice on there in the exhibit
Are we
hall,
doing hockey?
and then doing some shots.
Little skater.
Oh,
We're
no,
doing
yeah.
shots.
That's a different kind of
Oh.
shot.
Come on,
Different
Ben.
kind of shot.
You don't always have to go there.
One-track mind. I know you're
You don't
going
drink
to
and
Mardi
skate?
Gras next week, but come on, man.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be super cool. Maybe a little skate around,
Well,
rinse some skates, we could hold hands and do
might get
figure
discovered
eights.
at our conference. What do you
Nice.
think?
Got to know where the puck's going.
Yeah.
Georgia says, when does the exhibitor registration open? She's like, I got my credit card out. I keep hitting refresh like
Bing,
the Bruce Springsteen tickets.
Bing,
When
bing,
does it
bing.
open up?
As soon as we can get where, so we're obviously having to do a little maneuvering, little change of plan. We would anticipated mid-May for the opening. Now we're hoping for mid-March. So I would say somewhere between the 15th, 30th, 15th, and the 25th of March, we're going to be opening up registration, be the early bird registration for individuals, and the exhibitor registration will open up first for the premier members, that new naming of that category. The premier members will have access first, and then we'll open up from there for the rest of the membership. But we need to be looking for the launch. We'll be sure to be marketing this and communicating this with the members, but mid to late March is when we will be opening up the website for registration.
Yeah, and you can book your hotel at that point. I mean,
And that's also why it's gonna be key to book early, right?
You get access to the block, and all 4 hotels are different. They're different experiences, and you're gonna want to take a look at what we have on the website when we launch it and figure out what you want and what's gonna make the best possible experience for you.
That's right.
So you got to register early because for 3 reasons is what I'm
You
hearing.
get a cheaper rate,
Early
bird special.
Get access to the best for the exhibitors.
Yep.
and frankly, you might need it for visa purposes. So
Bingo.
get on it,
Or
okay?
Bingo.
Oh, and also, by the way, and this is kind of a, you know what, you get also when you talk about sponsorships and exhibit space, that's always first come, first serve too.
Yeah.
Amen.
How many times do people come to you and they want a sponsorship that's already sold out?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. So here's one of the other things. So we're opening up ourselves to 160,000 square feet of exhibit space. Going to be very interesting for us to be able to start to look at, maybe there are some non-member companies for IAM that may be interested in accessing the global membership of IAM. And I'm not talking about competitors in the space, in the moving mobility space. I'm talking about airlines. I'm talking about
Think about all those air shipments
car rental companies.
or
talking
truck
about
rental companies,
rail
Rail.
as an access. So we're really
steamship lines. I don't know.
well, many of them are members of
Yeah.
IAM. So we are going to try to see if that interests, and maybe there are programs of interest, maybe hotels, maybe Marriott, maybe Hyatt is interested in coming and accessing and making people members of their value programs, trying to provide rates that make sense for people, access to their programs. So we're really looking at this point to we've got enough space for all the members who are going to be interested in exhibiting, but maybe there are others that can bring value to our membership from outside the membership.
Yeah, these questions are great. Put these questions in the comments right now. Hit that like button. If you've got questions for Chuck and Brian, we've only got them for another 9 minutes before they got to skedaddle on down the trail. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to let us out of Canada. They love us so much here.
They do.
It might be tough getting through customs.
Do you have your paperwork in order to leave?
I think I have my paper.
I don't know.
Here's the other thing I need to say to folks. I'm going to tread water here just a bit. So if you have issues in your background, you need to watch it coming to Canada, because they're very tough with if you have any felonies. So Ben, I was really a bit surprised
Shocked.
that you were able to get here.
Shocked.
But
I actually use an alias. I use my father's name, actually.
Okay. Well,
yes.
So folks, I just want to be realistic. Let's make sure that you go through the process to obtain your visa and access to Canada early. Start that process, and be aware that they're going to look at your background, if you will, and make sure there are not any little nicks and snubs and stubs on your record as you come in. So FYI.
That's scary.
Did I put my foot in my mouth on?
Well, fortunately, all the IAM members already have to pass background checks to access things like ports and military installations and things like that.
Sure.
So we are all squeaky clean here.
No doubt.
Although I did hear the best reason to own a moving company is because you can't get on base anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So some of these folks that might show up here, because you can't drive anymore. Look at this. We got people. Oh, we got people checking in here. We got Cheryl Young, Simon Hood. Look at this.
So I'm putting a shout out to Simon to help.
All right.
To help Brian, and when he comes, he's coming to the UK at some point in the future, wanting to get into a Premier League game. So
yeah, this is an
All
SOS. I'm coming to England after in April, trying to get tickets to an Arsenal match. Got sold out. So anybody who can help me get tickets April 1st.
Wow.
Arsenal Leeds at Emirates
I might
Stadium.
actually have a hookup for you there. My good buddy Ben Sukia is an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
So he might be able to help you out. Yeah.
I'm working with Ben Shiner too.
It's a shame that you've got to
all the Bens are the best people. We're begging. At this point, we're begging.
I'm gonna beg, borrow, and steal. I'm ready.
Do you want to talk about maybe one of the elephants in the room that IAM just bulletin that we just put out?
Yes.
I'm retiring.
What?
Chuck, why is it always got to be about you? Sorry, Chuck.
You know what? Because it's all about me.
We love Chuck, and honestly, I've been trying to not think about it because it makes me kind of tear up a little bit.
Yo, please.
No, it does. It does. I'm sad. I've loved having you around.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
He was talking earlier about how, his first interaction with you when he was with what? Pack Rat?
I was with Pods.
Oh, Pods.
Chuck laughed in my face.
I did not.
I showed up at a hot wash.
Those portable,
and I was talking. I was feeling myself a little bit. It's like, we got capacity. What's up? He's like, who you with? I'm like, Pods. Like, well, forget about it. Whatever.
There's a lot of people.
And then we became very good friends. And Chuck's been a mentor, a friend, and just a great guy to work with.
As I encourage you to go from the dark side to the light. That's it.
Come to the light, my son.
Right.
What is a hot wash?
That's where you get laughed at. I also got insulted by Colonel Oliver at that same meeting. So
you're throwing out names and acronyms nobody knows a damn thing about. So after military sessions that they have with the industry, they or the industry themselves do an after action meeting where we look and see and get a feel for exactly what's going on through that meeting. What did we learn? So that was the hot wash.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, that was. But more importantly, Chuck is retiring.
I'm done.
It's been really wonderful having you lead our association.
Well, the most important thing I want to say is I'm a has-been. I'm out the door. But the IAM Executive Committee has named Brian Limperopulos, this gentleman to my left,
You're all
to
in
be
trouble.
my successor. So I'm officially out the door the end of this year, 31st.
Not clapping for you
December.
leaving, Chuck. Clapping for
Yes,
Brian.
I know you are. You're like happy to have me out the door. But probably the last of my last official event will be at the IAM's annual conference. So mid-October. So it's countdown for me. It's been unbelievable, this mission that I've been on. To support the International Association of Movers, the Household Goods Forwarders Association of America before that. I've been with the association coming up on 19 years, and it really has been an amazing experience. But I think the association is on great sound footing, and with Brian coming in as the next president of IAM, I am really, really excited for the association, where we're heading. And Brian, I just say congratulations.
Oh.
Congrats, Brian.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Chuck. I'll try not to get emotional, but you know, it's really humbling. It's a little bit, there's a lot to think about, but we have a great team, and I think that's the key for us is, moving, with Chuck, retiring, we do have a great team in place to make sure that everything that we've built over the years and you've come to expect as a member of our association, it's not going to go away. Chuck's been really intentional about how he set up this transition, and I think there's a lot more to come from IAM, and we're really excited for it.
And I can say IAM, more than any association I've ever been affiliated with, IAM has done such a phenomenal job of succession planning through Terry's leaving and passing the torch to you, Chuck, and now you passing the torch to Brian. And it's always been such a peaceful transition, such a cohesive, smooth transition. And the vision and the spirit of the association hasn't changed. It's evolved, but it's never really lost its way.
Yeah.
You see some associations, they lose their way when they transition, and IAM's never lost its way. And that's why I think the momentum that you're inheriting right now, Brian, is so strong right now. And the membership is so engaged right now due to, Terry and Chuck. And now I think you're going to be an excellent steward of it, if I may say so. Brian.
Yeah, I think we just have that strong culture of just inclusivity, that continuity, and like you said, I mean, Terry to Chuck, and I stand on the shoulder of giants, and you can
midgets.
But it's I think you're right, Ben, that history has been passed down, and it's something that I feel a lot of a strong feeling we need to live up to that and make sure that it's carried through with everything that we do in the future.
Yeah, Brian's a young man, but he's not a novice. I mean, he's been with the association for 13 years.
Wow.
He was in the industry working for one of our members before he came to IAM, at the time Household Good Forwarders Association. So he understands the history of the association. He understands the association and its members. And I just don't think we'll skip a beat. I think only great things lie ahead for Brian himself and for the association as well.
Yeah, I agree. And if you want to put any well wishes to Chuck in here, we will close with those well wishes. But before we do, we have two more questions from folks here.
All right.
Okay.
Lightning round.
So we're going to get to those because I know we got to get y'all to the airport as well here. Okay. Because speaking about getting through customs, with your nicks on your background here. Tim Quirk saying ice is nice, but plastic is fantastic. Best indoor ice rink is plastic. Wow, that's hilarious. Let's see here. Megan Harless says, what is planned for the agenda?
Oh, that's
well, we're working on that agenda right now. Obviously, the transition to the household goods contract, the global household goods contract on the military side will be discussed. We'll obviously have some discussion on the commercial side as to where that part of the industry is going. We'll bring together corporates. We'll bring together the RMC and groups as well. So there's all kinds of things on the agenda, but we really want to focus on coming out of this member needs assessment. What the go forward action? What are the concerns? What are the pain points for our membership? What do we need to be doing to solve those issues for you? And that's critical for everyone to fill out this assessment and for us to then gather that data and be able to provide that feedback at the conference and to be able to start to answer some of those questions.
All right, next question. Simon Hood, there's been some concerns about the conference being at a convention center rather than a hotel, and the delegates will be spread across accommodations, which could hinder networking time at the bar. Any comments?
100%. We hear that, understand it. So we're between a rock and a hard place. We get information back from members following conferences. We're tired of going to the same cities and the same hotels. Then when we have to go outside of the large, big box hotels, we have to go to cities that don't have those kinds of. And so we are going to have multiple hotels. I think this offers the middle ground. Yes, we're in a convention center. Yes, we're in 4 hotels. But these 4 hotels are almost a part of this conference center.
Right.
I mean, they You roll out of bed, you walk through a tunnel, you walk through a set of doors, and you're already in that environment. So I don't think we're going to have the same issues associated with that we've had in the past.
Yeah, and I agree. And you're going to have food in the expo hall, and you're going to have things like beer gardens. You're going to have bars, full-on bars, not the little stuff, full-on bars. They don't have TSA pre-check. All right. Well, there we go. I guess I'll answer the final question by myself. Cheryl Young, Chuck with the lens of Greener Mobility Coalition. Any thoughts about bringing suppliers or exhibits that more innovation around this space?
Sure, exactly. We want to open it up to all the different topics. You're talking about greener. That's one thing we've already talked about with all of the hotels in the convention center. We as an association need to lead on this front. So everything we are going to be doing will focus on sustainability and being leaders in that effort to be able to become greener.
Sorry, Chuck. We're getting the hook over here. So we'll see y'all later.
We're getting this.
Thank you so much,
all right,
Chuck,
man.
Brian.
Thank you,
Have
everybody.
a wonderful trip back to the States.
Thank you.
I hope you all make it through security.
All right.
I'm just going to read all these amazing things about Chuck. You guys can get out of here.
All right.
Catch it on the plane.
Amazing.
There's a lot of good stuff
me
here.
on the way out the door.
No, look at this.
I just want to thank the folks for joining us today, and thank you, Ben, for hosting us.
Yes. Right. And Simon Hood also says to look him up because he might have a hookup for you here on the tickets here.
I'm putting it out there.
Plea to the people.
That's it. That's it.
You've never had anybody run off set.
No, I've had people run. Yeah, maybe for different reasons. Okay. Megan Harless says we all know Chuck will still be around everywhere. Arthur Drury says Chuck retiring, is that allowed? He has to come in the next 5 meetings at least.
Nope.
Chuck, you're awesome. We'll miss you, but not yet. There's a lot of 2023 to go. Thank you for your service, Chuck. Brian has some big shoes to fill. Anyway, I'm left here alone. Love these guys. Take care. There he goes. Adios, Mr. Presidente. Bye, Tasha. Nancy. At least I have Nancy here. You know? There we go. Bye, Brian. Take care. Look at they're out of here. They got to make it through customs and everything. Look at that. Nancy, you want to come hop on with me? We've got Nancy Irvine here, president of the Canadian Association of Movers.
The show goes downhill.
Look at this. The show must go on. You know what? Next association president up. That's what I say.
My God,
how are you doing?
I'm good. It's so fun to meet you.
It's so fun. We got
God,
Nancy here. Let's put Nancy's name up here so we get rid of Chuck and Brian because we don't want people to be confused. They're like, wow, Chuck really changed. I knew he was retiring, but I didn't know. Yeah, I know. So it's so good to finally meet you here.
I know. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Started watching you back in the early days of COVID when you were my self-salvation in those crazy days. And now look at you.
Well, here I am. Yeah. I know. We were doing that broadcast live from a moving company office.
Yeah.
Clandestinely.
Yeah.
And now we're in the lobby of the Intercontinental Hotel in Toronto.
Here we are. Yeah.
I mean, gosh, times change. Tell people out there who aren't familiar with the Canadian Association of Movers. Tell people about your association.
So we've been around since 1969, and we're coast to coast to coast. We have people up in the north and all the way from Newfoundland right over to beautiful BC, Vancouver area, Victoria. And we're very much like a very smaller scale of International Association of Movers. Same thing, we got movers, suppliers, international folks that do military movers, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And I was talking to you at dinner the other night, and you were telling me a little bit about your association, and you actually do a publication. Tell me about your publication.
We do a bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. That's every 2 weeks.
That's every 2 weeks.
Not twice a week.
Not twice
every
a week.
2 weeks.
Oh yeah, because it's a different.
You could use it both ways.
Our translation's a little different.
Well, I think it goes both ways. So twice every 2 weeks. So it's like 26 editions a year ish.
Yeah, bilingual, fully bilingual, French and English.
Oh my gosh, how do you even do that?
It's a newsletter, and it's great.
How do I get on the distribution for that?
You can email.
Pay some dues, probably.
No, you can because we have lots of folks that just sign up just
get it.
We do all sorts of weird things with it.
I love it.
It's admin ADMIN at mover MOVER.net.
Admin at mover.net.
.net.
Wow, that's a nice.
And it's just our
domain.
newsletter. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So everybody out there who maybe not on the distro, get on the distro there. Nancy Irvine Canadian Association of Movers. Very cool. What should people know if they're coming to Ontario and Toronto for the October IAM conference?
Well,
As an insider,
we're really excited to have everybody here because it's a great city. The weather will be lovely. It'll still be in the for those I can't translate into Fahrenheit, sorry, but for worldwide audiences that use Celsius, we're still in the 15 degrees Celsius. It'll be lovely, maybe even warmer. And it's
actually really
very
nice suit weather too. So if you're wearing like you're dressing up and wearing like a jacket or something like that, you know, you're not going to sweat too much.
You don't need to bring all the heavy gear with you, and all the toques
no
and things that you need in the winter. But it's very walkable, as you found out.
Oh yeah,
you can.
And I don't like walking, and it's walkable.
Oh yeah, and everything is just right here.
It's right here, right? And we're in the middle of it all, smack dab in the middle of it all. I mean, we couldn't have a better location. I mean, you can walk to 2 major stadiums, right? You can walk to Scotiabank Arena, which is where the Raptors play and where the Maple Leafs play. You can walk over to the Rogers. I was gonna say Rosen. Rosen Center's in Orlando. The Rogers Center, where the Blue Jays play.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can really get everywhere.
And they will be in the playoffs, so it'll be
100% of Canadian.
And if you've never been in, like, Blue Jays are different because it's an entire country rooting for one team.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool when playoffs are on.
I actually really liked the Blue Jays in the 90s. I was a fan. Joe Carter hit that home run to win the World Series. I was even kind of a John Olerud fan.
Yeah.
I just thought I love their uniforms. I just like that blue. I thought it was snazzy. So, you know, hopefully they're playing. It'll make things wicked crazy here, though.
Oh yeah, when a Blue Jays game is on and a Maple Leaf game is on and everybody gets out at the same time,
IAM is here.
Crazy.
Oh man,
and IAM is here. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah, absolutely bananas, don't you know? Anyway, we're having a lot of fun here. Let people know, what is one thing they should do when they come to Toronto.
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Fine,
because
you get 5 things.
Yeah, there's. I just came from the aquarium.
Did you?
Right around the corner. Right around the corner. Which I love,
because from my room I can see down.
Yeah.
And there's these blue neon sharks swimming on the top of
it's such
right
a cool
under
place.
CN Tower at night. Is absolutely gorgeous.
One of the top aquariums in the world, actually, which is really cool.
All right. So go get
and then right next to it is this big tower that's sort of there. You know,
CN Tower,
which is 50 years old. It started.
Wow.
And I remember I was showing you guys pictures last night of it. Used to just be all a train.
Yes.
Train yard.
Yes.
And now there's like tons of condos and stuff around here, which is really cool.
It's right next to the aquarium. So what else should people do when they come here?
Hockey Hall of Fame, 2 blocks down.
Awesome.
Even if you're not staying at the Royal York, Fairmount Royal York, I have to get used to that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful just to go in and have a look around. It's a stunning building.
Gorgeous. Yeah, just go to the bar, have a cocktail. Yeah. The cocktails look amazing over there too. Real nice craft cocktails.
But the Loose Moose is right across the street, man. You gotta go to the Loose Moose.
You know what? Paul Convery, God bless him, who's in a hospital bed right now, waiting to have his gallbladder removed, and watching this show. Thoughts and prayers to Paul Convery. Told me I should go to the Loose Moose.
Yeah.
Other people told me it's a tourist trap. But you know what? I'm a tourist, okay? So I'm going to the Moose, okay?
You got to get some buffalo check when you come here too.
What
you got to get red and black.
Buffalo check.
Yeah.
Is that like a flannel?
A flannel with the red and black squares. Yeah. Yeah.
Should have packed.
And we were telling them all about beaver tails last night.
Is a beaver tail really the tail of a beaver?
No, it's shaped
like
that.
Oh my gosh!
It's shaped like that.
I thought we're eating beaver out here.
No, it's fried pastry. It's just fabulous.
Is it like an elephant ear or a zeppeli or fried dough?
Yeah, it's like fried dough, right?
Covered in powdered sugar.
But it looks like powdered sugar, maple syrup,
of course. Oh man,
caramel.
Oh yeah,
melted chocolate chips. Whatever works for you. Yeah.
This is awesome. Hit that like button if you want a beaver tail. I can't wait to come back to Toronto. You know, I've got one night here tonight left before I head to New Orleans tomorrow. What should I do tonight? I mean, I'm gonna hit the Loose Moose.
Well, you may not get out of there. You never know.
It's a
great spot.
I've gotten out of worse bars than that before. I'll tell you what. No, what else? Okay, so I'm going to Loose Moose for a cocktail. Then what?
Well, you know what? It's a great city just to walk around in the night and
Yeah.
just look at all the lights and
Oh, the lights are
and
incredible.
like the buildings are lit really nice and it's cool. Like there's a lot of architecture around here to check.
We're gonna
out.
have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know it. This has been great, Nancy. Thanks
Yeah.
for stopping
well,
by.
Geez, live audience. I told him he's going to start having prizes under the chair.
Well, there might be a prize under the chair.
I don't know.
You win a car. You win a car. Anyway, thanks everybody. We will see you soon in New Orleans next week.
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I don't even know. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Corporate Housing Professionals of America. No, Corporate Housing Professionals Association, CHPA. Nailed it. Can we cut that? Anyway, CHPA conference in New Orleans. I'm going there for Mardi Gras this weekend. Pray for me. I will see you Monday. Take care, everybody. Be good,
See
y'all.
ya.